Hello, Hypno Junkies. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Chaos Head Noah. We're going to get right on into it. Last time we played, it was basically the Yua episode, because we hung out with her essentially for the whole thing. I mean, we started the episode with her tailing us, and we ran into her. We lost her at school. We ran into her again at the cafe. Then we ran into a motorcycle. And then we just basically spent the rest of the episode probably being gaslit rather heavily. I do not trust this woman. I agree with our boy here. Weaponized tears, way too apologetic, just happens to like everything we like. I also wonder about what she said across the street, because he said that he saw her mouth the words, "Whose eyes are those eyes?" our favorite catchphrase. And now, did she actually say that, or was this one of those delusions I keep hearing about? I still don't know what the meaning of the delusions are. I know there are achievements for the delusions, but it just says, you beat the game with 0% delusions. You beat the game with 100% delusions. But I don't have options for 100% or 0. I have options for 0 delusions, green delusions, or red delusions. And I'm still not sure what that actually entails. So I guess we'll find out. I'm going to go ahead and get into it before the game decides to hit us with more cutscenes. But we are apparently going mini shopping with our new best friend slash girlfriend slash 3D wench. And we'll see how that goes. And I have a feeling we're still going to run into... We're due to run into that murderer student at some point. We haven't seen her since the second episode. But if she does go to school with us, I think she's still the woman from Class D. I don't think Yua's from Class D. Yua is our senior man. I believe she's a year ahead of us, which implies she would not be in a next-door class. But I guess we'll find out. All right, so we are just going straight to school from the look of it. We are out of time. The teacher was talking. As I'm sure you all know, we have a test coming up, so make sure you take good notes. Anyway, that's all for today. I guess our school day is over, so time to go figure shopping. Yeah, that. GTFO. I need to go drink. Rise, bow, be seated. No, that's the beginning of the day. The math teacher, wait, what the hell's his name again? Well, whatever. The teacher left the class, and that was the end of classes for the day. Some students started chatting about where they'd go after school. Those who were in clubs gathered with their fellow members and headed for their club rooms, and the rest were just getting ready to go home ASAP, as is our thing. I was in the last camp. As soon as the bell rang, I was always the first to pack up and leave. But today, I stayed glued to my seat trying to avoid eye contact with any of my classmates. My anxiety was killing me. Yeah, considering how fast we started speculating on worst-case scenarios 5 seconds after Yua left our shipping crate, I'm sure this guy's been inside his head basically all day, just going over every horrible thing that could possibly happen. After all, my date with Yua was very soon. Presuming a bit much here, any normal, non-video-obsessed person would have been losing their mind to have a date with a girl planned. But this was me we were talking about. Yeah, no kidding. And I couldn't feel any more depressed. Dude, you get to pre-order a cool Sarah mini. It's your best day. I couldn't relax at all. I was feeling physically sick. This would be the first time I'd ever gone on a date with a girl, so I had no clue what to do. Besides, would you even show up? Maybe she's just been fucking with me yesterday. She planned on standing me up. She was probably watching from the shadows right now, giggling at how gullible I was. Of all the scenarios, some of which are very bad, I doubt that's one of them. Well, now that I thought about it, that honestly might be better than her actually showing up. And she shows up right now. Wait, did I really have to just sit around waiting? I mean, I could just blow her off and go home. Oh, you ghosting bastard. I don't know. Her tracking skills are pretty on point. I'm not sure you're getting away. All right, it's settled. Time to head home. We were in different grades anyway, so if I just canceled our date at the last minute, I'd never have to see her again for the rest of my life. The school isn't that big, my guy. Fully determined to follow up with that plan, I stood up, and here she is. Never mind. Hey, I got a date, you jealous? With a girl you haven't slept with yet. Yo, Taku, you still here? You don't have a voice. Out of nowhere, my back fell victim to a hard slap. I knew who was behind me without even looking. The only guy in class who ever talked to me, none other than Misumi-kun. You planning on heading home? You usually vanish before the bells even finish ringing. In my head, I call it Takumi's supersonic split. I'm about to leave. You waiting on someone? A girl, maybe? Huh? How the hell did he know? Because he's him. No way, was I right on the money? What else would he guess? How? Well, you're acting pretty damn fidgety. You're also looking over at the door about 100 times. Smooth. He was good. No, you're just terrible. Either way, I probably shouldn't say anything that would make me stand out too much. Don't you forget, Takumi, you gotta be invisible at the school. You gotta blend in, be like air. No, I'm not really waiting for anyone. Oh, really? Then what have you been up to all this time? Well... Fuck. There's FFS. No, what was it? Something else that I was wondering why I didn't get a tip for. FFS gets a hint. Okay, funny. Misumi-kun wasn't a bad guy, but at times like this he could get really fucking annoying. Take a hint for fuck's sakes. There we go. What'd you think about that, Mizumi? I slowly turned my head toward that voice. Yua was standing by the classroom door looking apologetic, so her default look. Oh, god damn it. Because of Mizumi-kun, I lost my chance to escape. Wait, what the hell? What's going on here? That's a girl I haven't slept with yet. How dare you? Mizumi-kun looked unusually shocked. In fact, he was literally shaking. He put his arm around my shoulder and gave me a stern look. Dude! Taku, what the hell? Explain. That's your girlfriend? No, she's not. How many times have I told you, Mizumi-kun, I'm not into 3D? I don't know, you were pretty into 3D last night. Then who is she? And I'm not buying any bullshit like she's my sister or something. What the hell did a shut-in like you do to me to butte like that? She followed me around yesterday like a lost puppy. Oh, so it's like that then. She picked you up. Damn, bro. Lucky bastard. He put his hand on his chin, pondering for a moment, and then he finally let me go. I see. Well, different strokes for different folks, huh? Gotta be someone out there that's into whatever you've got. But I tell you what, Taku, I'm kind of relieved you've got at least a half normal sex life. Sex life? I told you it's nothing like that. Right, yeah, well, no, whatever you say. Good luck out there, Taku. Mizumi-kun wasn't taking me seriously at all. He just got all excited over his own assumptions, then slapped my back even harder than before. At this point, he was just screwing with me. I'm pretty sure everybody in the cast is screwing with you at this point. Chill out, dude. I won't steal your girl for like at least a week. I'm trying to tell you it's not like that. In fact, if you could steal her, you might actually be doing me a favor. Whatever, man. Just get going. Your girl's waiting. Mizumi-kun ordered me to move, so I stumbled over to Yua. Despite my best efforts, I hadn't been able to escape. I came to pick you up. Am I disturbing you? I came to pick you up. Totally not a date. No, not really. Yes, you fucking are. Man, we're just starting with all the swearing today. I turned to look at Mizumi-kun, but he just grinned and gave me the finger. Honestly, I couldn't tell whether he was trying to pick a fight or cheer me on. Probably both. I couldn't deal with this shit any longer, so I decided to just hurry up and leave with Yua. I'm just surrounded by DQNs. It's just picking the lesser of two evils. Again, I'm really sorry. We only just met yesterday, so asking you to come with me for something like this isn't really... Yeah. It's fine. Come on, dude. You know you want to pre-order the figure. Just come on. Just do it. She still might kill you, but you know you're going to pre-order it anyway, so... I was so nervous. Why does this music sound familiar? I was leaving school together with a 3D girl. Was I a normie now or what? Not even close. I'd always felt like this was in a completely different world from mine. Don't you dare call yourself normal. I never would have thought I'd get to experience something like this. Hey, just wait for the magical weapons. But now I was feeling the intense pressure of Yua's silence. Were we just walking side by side? Not even talking? So why was this so stressful? And to top it all off, I didn't really know who Yua was or what her goal was. Yeah, she definitely has an ulterior motive, without question. Just what did she want from an otaku freak like me? So, did you watch... I'm sorry? What? Oh, nothing. What's going on? Oh, she's just apologizing for talking out of nowhere. She started talking to me out of nowhere, so I got surprised, and that weird sound I'd made just came out. Yua also seemed really nervous. Her expression was so tense. She was older than me, so how is she still so innocent? She's only a year older than you, guy. How surprisingly moe. Then again, I probably wasn't the best person to be talking about innocence, since I could hardly manage more than a quick sidelong glance at her. I was too embarrassed to take a proper look at her face. I just couldn't do it. You watched the new Bloodtoon episode, right? The one that aired the day before yesterday? Yeah. Don't spoil it for me. There was this one part that I didn't quite understand. Susumu-kun's always rushes to rescue Sarah-chan, right? But this time, how did he even know that Sarah-chan was in danger? I don't quite get it. That was foreshadowed in last week's episode. There was that tiny scene where Sarah's phone rang for a moment, right? Susumu's name was on the caller ID. I'm getting lore in a game I'm not even playing. Now that you mention it, I think I remember that. Yamataku loves putting that sort of foreshadowing in. There were similar things in Gold Goal, too. Yamataku? Gold Goal? Yamataku is the nickname of the Bloodtoon director, and he did an anime called Gold Goal before Bloodtoon. Oh, really? So, Yamataku-san's a famous director. Yeah, we were talking about production teams last episode. Well, I like him at least. As for why, well, hot chicks, go ahead, say it. Take the filter off, I know you're gonna. I've been lecturing you about the various facets of anime when I realized we were already in front of Animate. Time flew by way faster than I'd expected. I'd let myself get carried away and talked way too much. Well, it didn't help that Yua was such a good listener. She paid such good attention while I shared my wisdom. She's got you hooked so hard. I couldn't help but want to tell her everything I knew, even though I knew I was falling right into her trap. And all this, and yet I wasn't even good at talking. This was the first time I'd ever felt that way. I was talking out loud, but it felt like I was chatting online. It was a weird feeling. Damn, weird, so strange. Oh dear, I'm getting a little nervous. But what? You're just going to pre-order something. Please don't leave without me, okay? Sure. Why would you think that we would? Yua only got more and more nervous as she went up and spoke to the store employee. It was clear that she was out of her comfort zone, but all I could do was just stand there and watch as she placed the pre-order for the post-awakening version of Sarah figure. Maybe we've already pre-ordered it because we're just that hardcore. There weren't any opportunities to escape. Yua kept anxiously glancing back at me so I couldn't budge an inch. Right after that, she even forced me to look around the store with her. Yua was looking all around with a big grin on her face, saying things like, wow, there's not enough money in the world to buy all these figures. Some of these things get expensive. Don't ask me how much money I've spent on Masterclass Transformer characters. I got boxes and boxes and, yeah. But even in the face of all that enthusiasm, I just couldn't find it in me to smile back at her. McDonald's hamburgers. McDonald's. Ah, yes, the Steins Gate trend of taking brands and misspelling them by one letter. McDonald's. Oh, man. I can't wait to go for a Big Mick and some fries. I want to go in there, walk past someone's table, and just point and say, whose fries are those fries? And then just take them. So apparently Yua took the train to school, the perfect thing to do. Come on, our main guy's got to do that. Whose fries are those fries, yoink? which meant I had to accompany her all the way to Shinzen Station. McDonald's. She might not look like it, but she was a devious one, all right. She always managed to get her way without making herself look even remotely selfish. She's a manipulative one, clever girl. Jurassic Park reference. Talk about a wolf in sheep's clothing. I agree. You should not be here. You have done your duty. You should be running. So, Nishija-kun, do you have a cell phone? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Once we'd reached the station, Yua suddenly asked me that question. A cell phone? I shook my head. Oh, thank God. We didn't go with our little sister to get a cell phone. We're saved. All right. So you don't have one. I see. I guess we can't stay in touch then. I don't think this is Shogun. I actually theorized this might be Shogun. I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, but I tossed that idea around. I don't think it's correct, though. Well, I guess maybe we'll find out. I wonder if we'll hear from Shogun again later. Why the hell would she want to stay in touch? What, was she going to demand that I text her about every little thing for the rest of my life? Welcome to being in a relationship. Oh, but you do have a computer, don't you? I have one too, so maybe we could exchange email addresses. Why would we do that? Why on earth would I do something like that? Huh? You know, because when the figure goes on sale, oh yeah, sure, that's what you're thinking about, the figure. I have to come pick up my pre-order, so pick up your pre-order! Grab some McDonald's while you're there. So maybe we could go together again? These pre-orders don't come out for months, mind you. If it's anything like my Transformers, I still don't have the courage to go to Animate all by myself. If our loser protag has the courage to go shopping for this stuff, you do. Yeah, she was good. Besides, she was way too good. You see, Nishija-kun? I knew she had her claws in me, but I just couldn't turn her down. If I did, I'd look like the bad guy. I really... 3D was the scariest fucking thing in the world. Whoa, those eyes! Whoa. Okay, you need to back the hell up. I would like to get to know you better. No. I would like to get to know you less. Okay? Personal space. Back up. Those aren't even puppy dog eyes. How is she doing this? Was it just because I was bad at talking to people, or she was just too good? Either way, Yua seems intent on not leaving me until she has my email address. Yet at the same time, I could sense a bit of unease behind those glasses of hers. I'm sensing that behind her glasses, too. I could practically feel my will to resist draining from my body. There were goosebumps all over my body, shivers running down my spine, but I couldn't run away and I couldn't turn her down. There was definitely something up with Yua. That aura she had, it wasn't normal. Yeah, she's not good. Watch her be the main bad guy and the murderer be the main good guy. I couldn't really put into words exactly what it was that bothered me so much, but whatever it was, something wasn't right. When the eyes are a little too big and the pupils are a little too small, she was kind of getting in that neighborhood there. Before I knew it, I'd torn out a scrap of notebook paper, written down my email address, and handed it to her. She took it, looking happy as she could be, then quickly bowed her head and disappeared into the station. It felt like my soul left my body. I just stood there, completely dumbfounded. Even after 10 minutes passed, I couldn't move an inch. I figured I'd grab some McNuggets. And we're back here. Run back to your comfort zone. Shut the door. Padlock it. Where's Grim or whatever his name is? So what do you make of all this? Of her? Grim, take my side on this, because personally I don't have the slightest clue. There is no way she doesn't have ulterior motives or something. I like how he knows this and still just keeps going along with it. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. Hey, you listening, Grim? What Hiroge is this? You're just reading a manga to me, aren't you? There's no way this actually happened to you in real life. That night, I decided to consult Grim about Yua. Ooh, where's Shogun? I figured I might as well. If I just get my paranoia to myself, I wouldn't get anywhere. And that was the response I'd gotten. Well, not like I could blame him. The first time I'd spoken with Yua, I reacted the exact same way. You did. I like how there's extra spaces between the words. He's just not taking this seriously at all. Was stupid of me to think you'd be any help, Grim. Now, wait. 1 fucking second. You were being serious? You actually managed to raise a flag with someone? You really have a way of getting whatever you want, huh? Lol. Now, who said they weren't into 3D again? Lafamau. It's not like that, dude. Grim's reaction was almost identical to Mizumi-kun's. Were they the same person or something? Oh, that would be funny. Well, for a turbo virgin like you, Neidhard, now that you have a girl, it should be easy to leave a Takudum behind and lose your V-card. You gotta be careful, though. Like, if you start talking to her about your school swimsuit fetish, she'll dump your ass, so use common sense. No, she actually seems to be into it. Such is the way. What's wrong with a swim school fetish? You got mail, you big dum-dum. Is that your alert? This guy's hopeless. I better do something quick. Was that an email from Grim? Oh, I don't know where I hear Saratan's voice. That was my custom email notification sounds. Of course it was. I casually went to check my email, and the sender's name was Yua, wasn't it? Yep. Kusunoki Yua. Wow, she sent one already. What's it say? Why do I gotta double click sometimes? I gotta click like 2 or 3 times to get to something every now and then. I got an email. Just now. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, 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 emo uji, whoop. There it is. Anyway. Yeah, Grim is that guy. This was the first time I'd ever gotten an email from a 3D girl. I gulped, then clicked to open it. Okay, that's a lot of text. Good evening. This is Kusunoki. I sent this email as soon as I was able to. I would appreciate it if you'd add me to your address book. Emoji. My apologies for making you accompany to me today. Sorry. Little bowing emoji. Even so, I still had a lot of fun. Perhaps it was because my first time going to a store like that, or maybe it was because Nishiju-kun was with me. Lol. Or what time will you be coming into school tomorrow? Bold of you to assume I go to school on that day. I'll have to check the schedule. Nishiju-kun. I gotta get used to saying these names. They don't say the names on top of the text box, which is odd for visual novels, and it's making it difficult to remember who's who. What time will you be coming into school tomorrow? I'm only asking because I was hoping I'd be able to say hello tomorrow morning, that's all. It would be nice if we could run into each other again tomorrow. Well, I'll be sure to email you again soon. Good night. Yua's usual elegance and purity shone through the email, and by using a lot of emoticons, she gave a bit of a friendly tone too. Well, she said things like, maybe it was because Nishiju-kun was with me, or I was hoping I'd be able to say hello tomorrow morning. I just couldn't help but feel like she was up to something. She most assuredly is. Yeah, post it now! Share the email. Grim just wants it. Put in the chat. It's tame. Chill the fuck out. Just usual greetings and shit. Whatever, bro. Just post it. Post it already. You don't know, man. Shogun might be lurking. Why am I looking at a black screen for so long? All right. Whoa! Okay. We've moved on here. Good evening. This is blah blah blah. I said the seals and the tails. I appreciate it in his book. My apologies. Oh, he's literally putting the email in. He's Xing out his name. Well, that's not cool. Wouldn't stop pestering you. You literally put it in the next text line. I saw that. Don't give me that. Rewind the video. Look at that. He's bullshitting. Okay, so I just gave up and posted the entire email. Not cool. I did censor me and you as personal information, at least. Still not great. Oh ho ho ho! Would you look at that lovey-dovey email? Kill yourself, Neidhard, you normie scum. Okay, I like Grim. Grim's cool. Please take this seriously. No, I refuse. This must be some kind of trap. Yeah. How tight that tinfoil hat you got on. You sure you're not overthinking it? It just looks like you raised a flag with this chick to me. You're almost at the good end already. That's what I mean. There's no way this is real. You think this could happen to a otaku freak like me? I'm pretty sure I titled the last episode, She's Too Good to Be Real, or Too Good to Be True. At least this guy isn't that clueless. There's no way. You think a cute girl would try to pick me up, IRL? Dude, lol, are you seriously complimenting your girlfriend already? Could you quit trolling for 1 second? Come on, I already told you, you're just overthinking it. We're two of a kind, aren't we, Neidhart? We both know good girls like that don't exist anymore. Yeah, I was fully aware, but she really was just that nice. And that's exactly what didn't feel right to me. Well, maybe her stalking shit would have been too far, but that's kind of hot, don't you think? Lul. It means she really likes you, and she said she likes anime too? Yeah, no way such a perfect girlfriend exists. See, we got this. We're bros. We're on the same wavelength here. Not for us otaku anyway, Lamau. I'm not even an otaku when I know this is too good to be true. Just don't go ruining her with your degenerate shit. Well, that might not be so bad. No, scratch that. That was exactly what I want. What was exactly what you wanted? Ruining her with your degenerate shit? Still, cheer up a bit. She made the first move, bro. I'm not into 3D. Yeah, you say that, but we both know you really want to go out with her, am I right? If you want to de-otakify yourself, now's your chance. You won't get a second one, and you know it. You're right, but... Congrats, you're popular now. Won't last long, so don't let it go to waste. Just keep calm and go on the attack. Just be Neidhart IRL. You can do it. You got the green light, bro. No, we haven't done the green lights yet. If I could just do it, I wouldn't be going through so much turmoil. You don't really seem to be having a difficult time with this girl. Seriously. Like, I'd realized something when I was talking with you the other day. Like what? Sure, there was a couple of moments when I had fun or felt happy, but aside from that, I just felt annoyed and completely exhausted. If that was what I had to go through with every IRL interaction, then I'd honestly just rather live in a 2D world where I could do whatever I wanted. And that was why I decided not to reply to Yua's email. Oh, ghosted! How's that feel? Oh, that was the transition. What? What's this? Why am I looking at a barrel fire? A fire burned bright into the sky. Was that another character transition, like we did with Fess or whatever her name was? Scorching red cinders danced across the incinerator. Oh, that's an incinerator. The flame was fueled by a sailor-style school uniform along with countless textbooks. Is this me de-otakufying? Did I start a tire fire on my rooftop to... No, there's no way he would burn all his eroge. Not for that. Okay, we got another person here. On a foothill overlooking the Seto Inland Sea, a girl stood in her home's garden. The steam whistles of boats echoed in the distance, and the nearby trees gently swayed in the refreshing sea breeze. In the midst of such a serene scene, the girl, we got a new one, Orihara Kozue, stood still and alone in front of the incinerator, bathing in the somber ambience of its cinders. Orihara Kozue. The girl's gaze was locked onto the school uniform and textbooks, as they were slowly reduced to ash, each becoming clad in a crimson glimmer. Until only yesterday they had been her school uniform and her textbooks. Despite having lit the fire herself, the girl did not move from the spot, perhaps out of a lingering sense of regret. That, too, lasted only a moment. She suddenly knit her eyebrows and covered her ears as hard as she could. Uh-oh. She gonna yell? She gasped in agony, and yet she did nothing more. What's this going to be about? The girl did not moan, nor did she raise any tearful complaints. All she let out was a series of ragged breaths. She shook her head repeatedly from side to side, as if to express a fierce, visceral objection. And as she did, her strength slowly started to crumble, and she collapsed to the ground. She fell on her backside with a thud, let her jaw droop as if utterly exhausted, and looked up to the sky with a dazed expression on her face. I can't remember the wording. It said it was her uniform and her textbooks. Did she start the fire, or did she just find this? Minutes later, she was still in that exact same position, not having moved a single muscle. Until suddenly, she turned around with conviction, as if she had heard someone call out to her. She looked toward the house's porch. The wooden house had been built over 50 years ago, so despite it being daytime, it appeared quite dim. Anything beyond the porch could barely be seen. Kozue slowly stood back up and walked over to the porch. And at that very moment, her mother appeared with impeccable timing. Oh, there you are, Kozue-chan. Kozue-chan. I've been looking all over for you. Have you finished packing yet? Kozue promptly noted and slowly sat down. We'll have to say goodbye to our little old place in a couple of days. Her mother took a seat next to her, gazing toward the inland sea with a gentle look in her eye. This will be your first time in Tokyo, won't it, Kozue-chan? Is she about to move into our school? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll make lots and lots of friends. Despite her mother's caring words, Kozue did not nod nor even shake her head in response. She simply remained silent, gazing wistfully toward the still-burning incinerator in the corner of the garden. And that's all we get. Another week came, and with it another school day. As usual, I had to school with my head hung low, depressed as ever. Autumn was starting to come into full swing. The leaves of the trees in Shoto Park were slowly changing color, and I was starting to feel chilly in my short-sleeved uniform. I suppose it made sense that I'd be surprised by the change of season, given I rarely went outside in the first place. I still hadn't really registered that summer had ended. My weekend had consisted of non-stop ESO. Again, I am shocked to hear this. I never would have guessed. Grim had kept on mugging me about Yua, but I just ignored him. I hadn't gotten an email from Yua since that first one. I hadn't replied to her first one either, so maybe she'd finally given up on me. Pfft, fat chance of that. I really hope that was the case. Whenever I talked to Yua, my feelings always got all jumbled up. Those interactions almost made me have a little hope. But there was no point in being so optimistic. At the end of the day, I was just an otaku freak. My whole life, I'd never ever had any success with 3D, so I just given up on it. Please don't give me hope. Please don't have any hope for me. I sometimes hear people say that, like, please don't give me hope when they hear, like, good news or something. I wonder if... I almost wonder if that meme originated from here, but I find that unlikely. Just as I thought that, someone tapped me on my shoulder from behind. I figured it was Nanami or Mizumi-kun, but when I turned around, I was shocked. It's Yua. How you doing? She chased you down. Yua was looking at me with a smile on her face. Her cheeks were a little flushed. Why was she so out of breath? I was right behind you. And I thought, oh, is that Nishiju-kun? So I ran to catch up. Is she really not given up yet? Does she still have some hope left in me? Good morning, Nishiju-kun. Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah. I finally got a chance to say it. It only took me 4 days. If you count the weekend, that is. Oh, right. I emailed you last week. Did you read it? Maybe it went to his spam. Maybe that's why he didn't respond to me. Certainly he's not ghosting me. I found myself nodding out of reflex. Oh, good. I didn't see any replies to my inbox, so I was worried that maybe I didn't send it properly. I considered sending it again, but I guess I was right to be patient. Seriously, what the hell does Yua want from me? Did she expect me to like her back? Did she want me to be her boyfriend? And then did she want us to live out some intimate lovey-dovey fantasy together? You'd be okay with that, admit it. There was no way I could do that. No way I could be that normal, no matter how hard I tried. I really wanted to, but it just wasn't possible. I still didn't understand why Yua even liked me in the first place, which made it all the more impossible to trust her. So I just couldn't do it. Nishiju-kun? Are you alright? Well, you've just kind of been standing there for a while now. Yeah, welcome to his default state. Upon realizing that, I quickly started to walk away, leaving Yua behind. But before I could get very far, you had already caught up with me. I went over to your classroom yesterday, but you weren't there, right? So, I thought that maybe you'd caught a cold and taken the day off. No, he just doesn't go to school. He's just not there in general. But you seem to be doing just fine, so that's good. Sometimes. Sorry? I just don't come to school sometimes. Like roughly half the time. Everyone calls me a shut-in. Can't imagine why. Did that break the spell? You're totally disillusioned now that you know the truth, right? If so, I didn't mind. I never got my hopes up anyway. Go ahead and call me an otaku freak. And then after that, never talk to me again. Oh, really? I see. Well, I'm really glad I got to see you today then. What the hell? What's wrong with this woman? 3D freak. I was left speechless. All I could manage to do was stare at Yua's smile, but when our eyes met, I got flustered and looked down. How is she not disgusted by me? Well, at least he's self-aware. And if you ask me, well, even if you don't always show up, I don't think that makes you a shut-in. No, there are many things that make him a shut-in. Oh, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't talk like I fully understand your situation. I just... Yeah, but... Going to school kills me. Like right now, for example. And that's exactly why I respect you a lot. What? Let's hear that rationalized. I never thought I'd ever hear someone say something like that to me. What the hell was respectable about a total loser like me? A gentle smile had spread across Yua's face. A smile so sweet it could cure any disease. That was genuinely what I thought in that moment. After all, even though it's so hard for you, you still make the effort to come sometimes. Well, he has to or he won't graduate. Most people wouldn't choose to do things that cause them pain. I remember school. Every day was pain. But I'm an otaku. I'm a freak. But I like listening to you talk, Ishiji-kun. Again, how freakish is this actually in Japan? I question. What the hell? What was with all this validation? Why did hearing it make me feel so good about myself? She's validating you to take advantage of you. It felt like Yua was embracing me all the way down to my core. Like she was giving me the right to be here, to exist in this moment. It felt like when I was with her, maybe I could even be a normal person again. Well, that was quick. 2 seconds ago, you just said it was impossible. Oh no! The bell! Rise, bow, be seated. Oh, wait, you're outside. Late. Oh, doesn't this guy get in trouble if he's late because it busts his attendance record calculations? Maybe that means he has to come in for another day. I hadn't realized until now, but almost all the students were already gone. Everyone had made their way to the school building. Oh, the art should have changed. All right, then. I'll be sure to talk to you later, Nishiji-kun. Oh, I almost forgot. Would you happen to have any time today after school? What? There's that crazy look again. Maybe we could walk home together? If you want, I mean. With a timid tone, Yua mumbled her words, a faint blush on her cheeks. I wonder, our usual thing, I think, is to just go to the cafe every day when we're going to school. If we don't go to school, we don't go to the cafe. I still wonder who was next door to us in the cafe, because that wasn't necessarily Yua. It might have been someone else entirely. I'm not too sure. I wonder, did she have a bag? In that one CG of her? And if she did have a bag, was it the bag that we saw? I don't know. It could have been someone else in that room. I wonder if we'll find out about that later. I'll wait for you in the courtyard after classes end. So, if you want to come, meet me there. Please. Kudasai. But don't feel like you have to. It's perfectly fine if you don't come. I'll talk to you later. If you want, I mean. Yua bowed elegantly, then darted off toward the third-year classrooms. If you want to, I mean. I watched her disappear into the building, then I pinched my cheek. It really wasn't a dream or a delusion. I wonder if some of the things we've seen have been delusions too. Because again, if those scenes come up, maybe they're always... No, I guess because you could beat the game, it was 0% delusion. Because there's... I mean, the only reason I know that is because there's an achievement for it. I don't know what that means. But maybe that means things aren't always delusions. I feel like this is a delusion. It's again, there's no way this girl is into you. Well, I'll get ready to be teased by what's-his-face. I couldn't focus on my classes all day after that, no kidding. Or rather, I didn't bother trying to focus. I just rested my head in my hand, staring sluggishly into the autumn sky outside the window. Yeah, we don't need to study, we're just here because we have to be. My teachers, my classmates, none of them ever paid any attention to me anyway. But Yua did. Yua was different from the other shitbags at this school. Yeah, she's different. She has an agenda. She wants something from me. I couldn't stop thinking about her. I couldn't stop having delusions about her, and before I knew it, classes were over for the day. And here's this asshole. Sup, Taku? You got a date today, too? I'm just going to give this guy a jockish voice. How'd your last date with the glasses chick go? Izumi, could you, fuck off? Oh, wait, you're not holding back just because you're a NEET, are you? She made the first move, so it's not a question of whether or not you take her out. You just got it, man. How did I not get a prompt in my tips for NEET? Besides, how is he a NEET? He's in education right now. NEET is not educated, employed, or trained, right? He's being educated. He's at school. You can't be a NEET if you're at school, right? I mean, he's kind of a NEET since he's basically here in body, not in spirit, but, you know. I'm not doing any of that. Whoa! What's with the shouting? You and I aren't like that. Huh? This shit again? Why are you giving up on her already? It's about time you got out of your shut-in phase, ain't it? I'm not a shut-in. Yeah, there's that delusion again. And that wasn't even what this was about. But there was no point in trying to explain this to Mizumi-kun, a guy who only thought with the wrong head. You're getting pretty good at thinking with the wrong head at this point yourself, buddy. So ignoring how puzzled Mizumi-kun was, I quickly made my way out of the classroom. Are you going to go to the courtroom? You going to do it? You going to do it? You going to do it? The shortest path from here to the courtyard is through the skyway to the third-year building, then down the stairs, I think. Yeah, he only knows one path, from the classroom to home. Everywhere else, don't care. I didn't come to school often enough to have a good grasp on the layout. I didn't even know where half the club rooms were. So I was a little bit anxious as I walked down the hallway to the next building. Oh, hey, we got a new one. That's not our murderer. It's not the girl we saw during the little interlude there. As I walked, I noticed a girl standing alone in the middle of the hall, staring up at the sky. Her face looked stiff, so despite her looking out the window, it wasn't in the wistful kind of way. She was obviously in everyone's way, but didn't seem to care in the slightest. Well, she has a sprite, so she must be important. I know you can hear me walking toward you. Move along, will you? I'm in a bit of a hurry here. I was getting real DQN vibes from her, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I tried to keep my distance and slipped by Girl B without getting noticed. My God, it is Twilight Murder Syndrome case. We're going to have Girl A, Girl B, Girl C. This hallway seems pretty wide. It doesn't seem like something you should have any trouble getting around someone.
Oi.
You. Never mind. Shit. Oh shit, was she talking to me? Fuck. Was she going to threaten me and take all my money? Or take me to the DQN hangout spot and have me lynched just because she didn't like my face, or worse? There's those worst case scenarios again. Give me a fucking break. What have I ever done to deserve this? Oh, she's right up in our grill. I looked toward Girl B and she was staring at me. Who are you? Interesting. Uh-huh. What? Did she just ask me that? All of a sudden, I'm thinking to myself, because I'm trying to remember who Girl A, Girl B, Girl C, Girl D was in that game. And I don't want to spoil Danganronpa 2, but Girl A was, if I'm not mistaken, the meek one? And Girl B was the rude one. I remember who Girl C was, because she'll see you next Tuesday. Are we going to run into a Girl C and it's going to be a musician? Huh. That's a funny coincidence. I'm Nishiju Takubi, but this is the first time I've ever spoken to her, so obviously she would know that. So I was right. Whatever she wants from me, it can't be good. Pardon me, I'm leaving. Psymin Sezz. I quickly bowed to avoid looking Girl B in the face, then ran away as fast as I could. And she's going to chase us down. After bolting through the hall, down the stairs, and out the door, I shot a look behind me at the third-year building. It seemed like the scary girl hadn't come after me. I wonder what her deal's going to be. I was safe. To be completely honest, I was getting tired of all this bullshit. Whenever I was in the third dimension, I was running into another goddamn trap. I took a second to catch my breath and then looked for the courtyard. The courtyard was between the school building and the pool. It was so narrow it was more like a path than an actual garden. There were a few evenly spaced flower beds, pardon me while I learn to talk again, spread across the courtyard. The violet-covered flowers were especially eye-catching. What kind of flowers are those, I wondered, but I didn't really have a clue. And standing in front of the flower beds was none other than Yua. She stood still, gazing at the flowers listlessly. Just like she'd promised, she'd really waited for me here. Well, why wouldn't she? She'd waited for me, and me alone. Yua hadn't betrayed me. Well, there wasn't much cost to her not betraying you. This was her idea. You didn't want to be here. Maybe I could trust her. Don't you dare think that. Maybe she really was the savior I'd be looking for. Nope, I don't trust. Yua looked up and noticed me standing there, not with that new sprite with the crazy eyes. And a moment later, her eyes widened. Here they come. I got shy. I looked away, frozen in place. Should I walk toward her? I don't know. Why was she so surprised? We agreed to be here. Maybe I should have come. But as I was lost in thought, Yua ran over to me. Of course she did. I can't believe it. What? Why can't you believe? You actually came, Nishiju-kun. I was so close to giving up, thinking you weren't going to come. I didn't think it took us that long to get here. We got lost. But I'm so glad I waited. I was taken aback. Yua was thinking the same way as me. We both had the same pessimistic mindset. Well, that's true. But there was one clear place that we differed. Whenever I had negative thoughts, I'd freeze up and do nothing. But whenever Yua had negative thoughts, she'd take action anyway. I seriously respected her initiative. I wanted to be like that too. That's a good way to be, guys. Negative thoughts are going to come in, but you got to be aware of them and just deal with them, because they really don't matter. There's the look again. So, are we going to walk back together? You're getting a little too excited about that. Settle down. She timidly asked me, and I nodded in response. I'm getting a little familiar here. Walking side by side, the two of us passed through the school gate. It was a little embarrassing. It felt like other students were staring daggers at me, green with envy. And the more aware of that I became, the more anxious I got. I guess I was right. I really can't walk home alone with a girl. You can't walk alone with a girl. Also, who is this? We crossed paths with a teacher I'd never seen before. Or at least I assumed he was a teacher since he was wearing a suit instead of a school uniform. But wasn't he a little young to be a teacher? He kind of looked like a young phoenix right there. Well, I hardly ever came to school, so it only makes sense that I wouldn't know half the teachers looked like. Hell, sometimes I forget what my homeroom teacher looked like. The teacher in the suit was looking around restlessly as he headed for the school building. And what's his deal going to be? Is there something wrong? We're going to look back on this later. You're going to finish watching this series, and then you're going to look back on this and realize all the stuff that's been getting set up early on. And we'll see how right I was about some of this, and we'll see how wrong I was about some of this. Not knowing how to react, I quickly shook my head, returned to Yua's side, and went back to walking with her. Oh, are we... Oh, no, this is where we have breakfast, right? We said we'd walk home together, but my base was only 10 minutes from school. Meanwhile, Yua needed to go all the way to Shinzen Station, so I needed to accompany her before I could go home. But by force of habit, I led Yua into Shoto Park. The park was something of a shortcut on my route to school, saving me about a minute each way. So, Nishiju-kun, you eat your breakfast here in the morning, right? How do you know that? How long have you been stalking me? Yeah. How does she know that? I knew it. I've seen you eat here quite often, but I noticed you weren't here every day. But it looks like I finally solved that mystery. It's just because you don't go to school every day, right? Nailed it. Well, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just that I was, curious. You have a breakfast McMuffin every morning? Yua suddenly stopped, turning toward the bench I always ate breakfast on. Nobody was sitting there at the moment. Whenever I look at you from behind, when you sat here, you always looked really sad. Yua bent forward slightly, gently stroking the back of the bench. And the more I looked at you, the more I wanted to talk to you. The bench was right in front of the fence by the pond. Whenever you sat on it, you could just stare out across the pond without needing to worry about whether others might be looking at you. It was right by the watermill, too, making it even more inconspicuous. That was another huge plus. Whenever I didn't see you here, I got so worried that I had trouble eating. Still not buying this necessarily. We'll see. Really? I never noticed her looking at me when I was here. This guy is very, very sensitive to people staring at him. I feel like he would have noticed you. It's a bit silly, isn't it? Worrying about someone you've never even spoken to. But I just couldn't find the courage to talk to you, so you just started stalking him? So her initial stalking was an extension of that, or maybe not stalking per se. Maybe she'd just been looking out for me. You mind if we just sit down here for a little? I want to see, the scenery you were always looking at. Nishiju-kun. I didn't really have much of a reason to refuse. I nodded my head, still facing out toward the lake. Yua placed her bag on top of the bench and quietly took a seat. She then straightened her posture and gazed out at the lake. It was so incredibly quiet, so incredibly serene, and Yua was sitting right by my side. A gentle breeze drew ripples on the water, and it softly swayed Yua's hair. Was this what it felt like to be a normie? The situation was so ordinary and so casual. So why did I feel like I was about to cry? Enjoying a nice breakfast here sounds amazing. I looked at the side of Yua's face as she whispered that. If life were an Eurogate, this is where she'd confess her love. Then we'd lean in, kiss, and the good end credits would roll. And who knows, if the situation called for it, maybe we'd get straight into some exhibitionism, JK. Fuhihi. Never change. Never change. Maybe I'll give it a try sometime soon. Yua turned and looked up at me. Unable to find the words to say, I looked down at Yua's bag. Oh, was it the bag? It is the bag! Okay, I'm actually glad that got followed up on. It's the bag with the froggy, so she was in the room next to us. Okay, that solves that mystery. I was curious if it would end up being someone else for some other reason. Cursing my inability to maintain eye contact with the girl, I stared instead at the 3 Gero froggy straps hanging from her bag. Look familiar? Oh, here we have another one of these. We've had at least one of these every episode. Hold on. Wait a minute. Chottomatte. Something about this scene was really nagging at me. I mean, you saw this bag before, and that thing was the Froggies, characters that were popular with high school girls. I mean, if we're just remembering that she was in the room beside us, that's not a major revelation. But I'd seen those exact ones before, hadn't I? Where, though? I mean, we knew she was stalking us in the cafe. I just couldn't put my finger on it. No, my finger's on it. I'm pressing down. I'm leaving a print. I definitely feel like I'd seen them before, but I couldn't remember where. Was my memory really that bad? I'd always been confident in my memorization skills, and they never failed to help me score well on my tests. I was pretty smart, after all. Would I have remembered if I'd have picked a red or a green there? So why were they failing me now, and at such an important time, or at least what felt like one? I still wish I knew what the red and green meant. Where? Where had I seen them before? I told you where we saw them before. I mentioned where we saw them before we saw them again. I felt that if I took a closer look at the Gero froggies, maybe then I'd remember. As for what would happen next, though, I don't know. But I just wanted to stop feeling so hopelessly lost, so I, almost subconsciously, extended my hand and reached for the bundle of Gero froggies. Hey, you touched my figures, I get to touch yours. Oh dear, we got a slap. Uh-oh. True colors. What's up? What's this sprite gonna look like? Gah! Suddenly, Yua slapped my hand away. Huh? What? Huh? Oh. Whoops. Did I let that slip? Uh-oh, back in character. What just happened? I was completely dumbfounded. Yua looked away from me, then awkwardly started to get up from the bench. But as she did, her hand hit the 3 Gero froggies. I'm going to say it differently every time. The 3 Gero froggies that were hanging from her bag. And almost as if in slow motion, her bag slowly fell off the bench. And crashed to the ground. Just from hitting the froggies? That's it? Wait a minute. Whoa. What's this? What am I looking at? Because she was doing research on the new gen stuff. That's what we noticed about her doing in the room. Are these newspaper clippings about those things? Boy, there's been a lot more incidents than I thought there were. The bag was unzipped, so all of her notebooks and textbooks spilled out onto the ground. Silly me. I'm all over the place today. Ha 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 ha. Is there a reason why this is something like, again, if she's just a fan of this stuff, that's one thing. That doesn't give her a reason to follow us around though, right? Just a few minutes ago, I might have even thought of you as ditziness as moe, But at the present moment, I was just frozen in place, and that was because one of the fallen notebooks had fallen open. Tons of notes and newspaper snippets were scattered across the ground. Yep, the new gen stuff. It looked like it was some sort of scrapbook. And all the notes, all the newspaper snippets, everything was focused on a certain string of cases. Again, string? There were 2, and a third one that we haven't really heard anything about since. Are there, like, more? Because that's a lot of newspaper clippings. And its name was written there, clear as day. New Gen. Why? I mean, again, this isn't that weird. It's a trending thing, right? Again, are we going to see her behave differently here? My voice came out ragged. Yua, in a panic, started frantically gathering up everything and shoving it back into her bag. Yeah. Once she did, she held the bag close to her chest and stood up. She looked toward me and nodded, her expression intensely uncomfortable. Her smile from before was nowhere to be found. Were those? Sorewa? Yua didn't answer. Why wouldn't she talk to me? Please, just say something, anything. Even still, she said nothing, which meant she must have realized that she'd been caught red-handed. I wanted to trust her so badly, and I'd been just starting to think that maybe Yua was actually on my side. That she could have been an ally. Again, I don't see what's so bad about this yet, but her behavior is sus. Also, there's new music. Yep, see? Should've listened to Sarah. Can't trust anyone, don't listen to anything anyone says. In the end, Sarah was right. 3D girls were the worst pieces of shit imaginable, every last one of them. Yua never liked me at all. She only wanted to get close to me because she had ulterior motives. Again, I'm going to need this ulterior motive spelled out. Maybe she wanted to turn me into the police, or maybe she wanted to blackmail me. Why? You didn't do it. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Or did you do it? Is our guy going to end up being the murderer, and that's going to be the delusions or something? I'm not sure I see that. Unless those 5 people were pushed off our rooftop, which wasn't really... Was that specified? I'd almost forgotten all about that incident, yet here we go again. Yeah, the 3rd murder. The police had never questioned me, so I thought that maybe, just maybe, I could go on pretending it had nothing to do with me. All I wanted was to get away from those stupid murders, so why? Again, you were a passing witness to one of them. You're not that connected. What the hell was you really after here? No, I don't even care anymore. I just wanted to run as far away as I could, so I went to turn around. And she's going to grab us? But, oh, it's going to be someone else. Yua quickly grabbed my wrist. Oh, that sounded like a very different tone of voice. Are you running away? Her voice sent chills down my spine. Okay, here we go. Mask off? Mask off? Her tone was so cold, it felt like my body might freeze over. Yeah, that did not sound like the same voice. It didn't even feel like she was the same person. It wasn't the Yua I thought I knew. What's she going to look like when she come back? And her grip. Yeah, no longer clumsy and ditzy, is she? Her grip was way tighter than I'd have expected. It wasn't normal. Jolts of pain ran through my arm. My bones felt like they were being crushed. I tried to shake her off, but she wouldn't let me go. In fact, she was pulling me toward her, practically pinning my arm behind my back. Uh-oh. Are you running away? From behind me, right by my ear, I heard a whisper that crushed any emotion I had left. With a shiver, I slowly turned around. Oh, yeah, that's a very different expression. Yeah, that's what I might have figured. Boy, it didn't take long for us to meet the real Yua, did it? I figured you'd be able to keep up the act for at least a little bit longer. She was staring at me. There was no longer any color left in those eyes of hers. I won't let you run. I'm sorry for lying to you, but it's not like I was the only one. It's not like you were the only one. Oh, you have some things you're hiding too, don't you? I'm hiding things? Only a single thing crossed my mind. Somehow she knew that I had witnessed that staking murder. She knew that I had seen the perpetrator. And that was most likely why she tried to get close to me. Why would she know that? How would she discover that info? I knew she was good. Too good. She'd have me wrapped around her little finger. Oh, she played you, son. Everything she told me was a lie. Her taking an interest in me from just one glance. Her liking Bloodtooth. Boy, she did her research. Her arranging to go with me to go pick up the Sarah Post-Awakening version figure from the store when it went on sale. All her nice little comments as she listened to what I had to say. Her wanting to get to know me better. Her being worried about me when I didn't come to school. Her saying that she respected me. Yeah, who respects you, buddy? You're an otaku freak. Everything that came from her mouth had been a lie. That thought killed me inside. I was so overwrought with grief, I tightly clenched my fists. Fuck. Why had I believed a single fucking thing she'd said? To be honest, I'd have liked a little more time to look into things, but the cat's out of the bag now, so there's no point pretending. I have something I want to ask you. You'll listen, right? Surely you listen, won't you? You need to listen. Listen to me. You're going to listen, right? Ooh, this is sounding somewhat similar to a certain hypnotic pattern that I've used in the past. But if you won't listen, what'll happen if I don't listen? I almost wonder if this is something that she has the ability to do, to just make people focus on her and listen, even if they want to try to leave, because some of our main character's behavior can be chalked up to that. Some of it can just be chalked up to his total and complete lack of social skills. Yuo was almost a completely different person now. The gentle and carefree atmosphere from before was completely gone now. She felt completely unapproachable now. The atmosphere felt bizarre, like one molded from utter obsession. Her tone was as composed as could be, though perhaps cold as ice was a better description. Her usual femininity was completely gone. No, I don't want to listen. I tried to cover my ears. But I couldn't. Yuo was holding onto one of my arms. Her grip was weaker than a second ago, but she still didn't let go. I couldn't move my hand. And while we were in that deadlock, she took a dark, gray, shiny object from her bag and held it out to me. Is it a badge? Nope! Never mind. Oh, did she find that in our room? I mean, I suspect she could have also found it on the ground, but she probably also saw the one in our room. That might have been why she gasped. Oh, I need to go back and watch that episode. Is this the one actually from our room? I was petrified. My heart skipped a beat. Any composure I had left was gone. I was so shocked. The hand that was going to cover my ear just fell to my side. Before long, Yua's voice, now sounding almost regretful, reached my ears. You've seen this cross before, haven't you? Of course I'd definitely seen it before. I'd seen many of them before. I wasn't sure what it was at first, but I quickly realized. It might have looked like a cross, but it was in fact a stake. In fact, whoop, I skipped over that. How can I get that back? It might have looked like a cross, but it was in fact a stake. And stakes with such a unique shape were not something that you saw every day. Okay, that's how I find my log. Or at the very least, I'd only come across them once. Moving forward. There we go. Yeah. That night. Scattered across that alleyway. How did you carry all of those? Yeah, you. That night, as the demon girl nailed them into the wall. That night, as a corpse was being nailed onto the wall. So you do know of it. Unsurprising. You saw the one in my room? You know, don't you? You definitely know. What do I know? Don't you dare claim that you don't know. I don't know what I don't know. It would be very odd if you didn't know. I know you know. You know, don't you? I frantically shook my head in denial. A disgusting cold sweat broke out on my brow. All I could do was wipe it away as I kept shaking my head as hard as I could. I found this in your room. Yep. So busted, and I'm pretty sure I remember the part of the episode where she found it too, because she let out a little gasp. In your room. Under your bed. Down on the floor. It had fallen down there. You dropped it, didn't you? Or did you mean to throw it there? Either way, that's where it was. Right on the floor. Yes, it's on the floor. We've established this. Who the hell was this girl? When the fuck had she searched my room? Was it the day we'd first met? Yes! I told you she was ransacking your room. She found it then. When my leg got injured, she'd come all the way to my room with me, where she'd see my Sarah figures and her face lit up all cute like a fucking Christmas tree. This steak is very unique. It was manufactured abroad. Moreover, it is the same as the steaks used in the third New Gen incident. The exact same one. It's the same, right? There's no way it isn't the same. It's exactly the same. The same as the ones used to nail that corpse onto the wall. The same one. I feel like you're leading me, okay? Repeating everything 5 times. I'm starting to think you're a little less cute than before. I was convinced. This woman thought that I was the culprit behind New Gen. She thought I was some kind of insane cutthroat murderer. Did she think she was a detective or something? Wait, did she call herself Kusunoki Yua, Ace High School detective or some shit? Fucking kill yourself, actually. That shit might have worked in anime or video games. This was in real life, and little did she know her reasoning had a fatal flaw. I knew who the real killer was. Well, be sure to tell her that. I'd seen her with my own 2 eyes. I'd seen that demon myself. Sure, I didn't know her name, but she'd been wearing the Sume uniform, which meant that she was someone I could know. So what? Yua suddenly hung her head and let out a small sigh. She loosened her grip on my wrist even more than finally let go. Oh, back to this look? That's everything. I have nothing more to say. I just wanted to confirm that you actually knew about this steak. To be honest, I really wasn't intending to question you about it yet. What the fuck had she meant by yet? Since it's too late now, could you please confirm one more thing for me? Do you have precognitive powers? What? Okay, so we are introducing some magic powers here. Do you have precognitive powers? No. We're not talking my character in ESO here. Huh? Excuse me? Baking powder? I couldn't help but just stand there with my mouth open. Precognitive powers? What the fuck? What did that have to do with these incidents? I tilted my head to the side, utterly perplexed. As I did, Yua's hand retreated into her bag once more before taking out a picture printed in full color. Well, right here is an unaccountable digital picture that can only be explained by precognitive powers. That's why I had to ask. Meaning what? The picture was that grotesque one Shogun had sent me. Why did Yua have it? Actually, that's a very good question. When did she access our computer? Did she hack us? Or was it something to do with the email she sent? I downloaded a virus? Why do you have an image that depicts the third New Gen case? And what's even more curious is how this image leaked the day before the incident. Even if I did have precognitive powers, I'm pretty sure I can't download my precognitive powers into a digital file. It was in the cache of the PC you always use. Aha! You don't understand. I'd gotten that image earlier that day when I was chatting with Shogun. I hadn't made it myself. I downloaded it, so it must have still been in my history. That's it. I'll just show you that. Still, though, how had you even gotten this image in the first place? She'd said it had been in my computer cache, but how would she know that? When you had come into my room, she definitely hadn't had the time to snoop around my PC. Oh god, are you Shogun? Was she trying to frame me? It was all a setup by Yua. She was the New Gen killer, even though we've seen the New Gen killer and it's not her. And now she was going to use me as a scapegoat in order to throw off the police, wasn't she? Help! Help me! It was all too much. Why did it have to be me of all people? Was it because I was a freak? Was it because I had no friends? Yua didn't say a word. She just shook her head lightly. I got this image from the PC in room 37 at Cafe. Aha! I'd have liked to look into your private PC too, but unfortunately I didn't get the chance. When did she sneak in there? We did go for a drink at some point. Room 37, that was the one I always used. That bitch really did her research. Yua looked at me with a slightly apologetic look. It almost felt like she turned back into the Yua I knew, if only for a moment. I wonder how she got on our trail as being a witness or whatever. And while that happened, she started fishing around in her bag once more, but this time she took out a page with text on it, then held it out to me. Oh, I had a bad feeling about this. Alarm bells were going off in my head, telling me not to look. But there was no way I could ignore it, because if I did, then I'd surely end up being framed. Everything there is you. What? What the hell was that supposed to mean? Did that mean she had all of my personal information too? Was you some sort of hacker? I reached out and grabbed the printout, all while my heart was pounding out of my chest. But to my surprise, the page didn't have my personal information. It was just a chat log. Is this where Shogun will be mentioned? Ah, the two members of the chat log were Neidhart and... Shogun or Grimm? It is Shogun. But that's not me! Shogun's not me! That log is quite strange, don't you think? Huh? What was so strange about it? Looks like a perfectly normal chat log to me. I definitely remember having this conversation with Shogun. Neidhart and Shogun's timestamps don't match up in the slightest. Oh, we are going to have some Steins Gate bullshit here, aren't we? Let's see. Yeah, they're on completely different days. Interesting. Yeah, what? What the hell? That's a little weird. What the hell? How is this possible? The Neidhart there is you, Nishuji-kun. Those are your messages from 3 a.m. on September 28th. And then the next day, you went to At Cafe. Oh! You only ever go to At Cafe after school. Well, that's like Psy'Min Sezz. I got that right. And you only go to school 2.5 times a week. Your fellow classmates told me so. However, last week, you went to school on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday last week was September 29th, the same day Shogun's messages were sent. So he sent them to himself in the past? Again, we got some Steins Gate bullshit going on here. What was she talking about? Wait, am I Shogun? I was not expecting that. I inspected the chat logs on Room 37's PC. And that's when I realized. For just a moment, Yua hesitated. Then she stared straight at me, before breaking the cold, unfeeling truth to me. Both members of that chat log were you. Don't look at me. This Shogun. Don't look at me. Is you. The hell? Oh, we are knee-deep in some bullshit here, boys. But surely he doesn't remember sending the texts, right? What the hell? Yeah. Cut that out. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything. Time is not a constant. You know what? I don't want to see or hear anything else either. You know why? Because it's the end of the damn episode. I've been recording for too long. So that seems like a good thing to stop off on, actually. So, yeah. Mindfucks commence. Let's see what happens with the next episode. Again, Yua, totally gaslighting us, totally faking. We called that pretty easily, but now that we're here, where do we go from here? If you want to find out, make sure you catch the next episode, because we are stopping here. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I am. I'm very curious to see where this goes. Take care. I will see you guys next time. If you want to know what's going on with streams, live streams, as well as the recorded stuff, make sure you're following on Twitter, on Twitch, all that good stuff. And you know what? If you do follow us on Twitch, if you do manage to come by, make sure you say hi. I want to get to know you a little bit better. Take care and have a great week. I know you will. Bye-bye.